guys, welcome back to another Blender tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make this simple scene in Blender using SVGs and simple shapes. Now don't be confused or anything because SVGs are nothing to be scared about. The acronym stands for Scalable Vector Graphics and are in short vector images or graphics that use a special file type with the SVG ending. But this is all probably boring, so let's hop right into Blender and get started. Alright, so I'm just going to open a new Blender file. Okay, now I know what most people like to do, and what I occasionally do too, but do not delete the default cube. This is what we will be using for the pillars in our scene. So, first things first, click on your camera, and on the right you will see a green tab with a camera icon on it. So this one right here. Click on that and you will see that under the lens header type is perspective. We do not want this, but it is the default. So click on it, and on the drop down menu you will see orthographic. Click on this and you will see a big difference. So let's go into camera view mode and look at that. So this is orthographic, this is perspective. Okay, so we want this. I like this. Actually, now that we're at it, let's change this to cycles. We want cycles. Choose whatever this is, whatever you want. I'm actually going to make my camera square, because I want it like this. That's how it was in the original. So I'm actually going to delete my light. Okay, but now for the main part. We are going to be building up the pillars or towers, whatever you want to call them. I will just scale them on the Z-axis and place them along as so. So just like that. I'm just going to grab this just like that. Okay, so once you have a height that you're content with, do this for all the other pillars. So what I do to make them nice and even along each other is just duplicate them and then move them along by one unit, which is the same because this is the default cube. So we could go like -x, or like -2x, I guess, because that's 2 units, and it'll go right there. And then we could grab Z, scale it however we want, and then we could shift D again for this one. Let's do like -2y, and then it'll move over here. Now we could scale this however we want as well. Same with this, we could do the same thing. Shift D, -2y. It'll go right there. We grab Z, scale this. I'm actually pretty happy with this. This looks actually alright. I'm just gonna have 4 pillars, and the background can just be empty. So once you figure all this out, we're actually going to want to go into a website, or whatever website you want. But I like using Icon Duck. That's just what I personally use. They have tons of free SVG icons and logos that are made by real people. Be careful though, because not all of these logos might be for commercial usage. So if you're looking to use this scene commercially, make sure to check this license. Anyways, let's head on over to Icon Duck. Okay, so once you are in the Icon Duck workspace, you pick an icon. In my example, I used crypto icons, like for different crypto coins in the top 10 list, but I will go with, so let's just find an icon. I'm gonna go with, let's just go with these, let's see, flat color icons. Okay, so this one is 329 icons, but we want to see, so this example I'm gonna use the heart. This is the Good Boy license. You want to check what that is. I personally don't know what that is, so I'm going to look for another icon. Okay, once you found an icon that you are happy with, that has a license that will allow you to use it commercially. This one was made by, I don't know who it's made by, it doesn't really say. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's a money bag icon. So you're just gonna, I'll just download this. Well, for me, I already have other icons, but this is just an example. You would want to download this, save it somewhere you would remember so you can import it back into Blender later. Okay, let's head back into Blender. Okay, once we are back into our previous thing, you can see we have these 4 blocks. And we're going to go up here to the top left corner, click on the tab File, go down to Import, and you will see the scalable vector graphics, or in parentheses the .svg. So once you've navigated over here, you can search for that SVG file. So I'm going to go to my downloads, SVG. You can see I have a lot here. So I can just click on this currency dollar SVG. This is one that I had earlier. So you're going to see this pop up right here. It's really not that hard. All you do is place them. So I'm going to bring it up here, but it's really small, so I'm going to scale it up a lot. Scale even more. Okay, so, and then I'm going to set the origin, so geometry, move it back to the center. I'm going to rotate it along the x-axis by 90 degrees so that we have it nice and scaled. Okay, I'm going to scale it down a little bit. You can see it from the side. This looks like it might actually be upside down. So, rotate x 180. So we'll flip that around. And then I'm going to rotate the z along the 90 degree axis so I have it, so it's facing just like this, so that when I go into camera view you can see it just like that. I'm going to scale it down, move it along the z axis a little bit lower so you can see it in the frame. But the problem about this is you can only modify it because it's it has no volume. So what we're going to do in a minute is extrude that, make it have some volume, and turn it into a mesh. So what you're going to want to do here is click on this, make sure you have this selected, and you can see over on the right that it's a curve. We don't want that. We want it to be, a mesh. So we're actually going to adjust the extrusion. It's going to be super big. You could scale that down along, let's see the x-axis, make that nice and thin. I think that's okay. Once you have it to your preferred thickness, you can, you can still see it's still a curve, so you can't really do what you need to do it if you want to modify it in any other way. Not that I need to, it's just for example. So you can convert it to a mesh, and you can see now it's a mesh, so you can do whatever you want to it. See, now it has actual geometry in the edit mode. You can see that. But so that's what you're going to want to do for all of these. You're going to want to keep importing your different SVGs, keep extruding them, tweaking them, whatever you want to do. But in the end, it'll all come out to my example. But actually in my example, I took all of these, I made these all one object. So I think I joined them. So they're all into one object, but I wanted to, it looks too perfect. So I wanted to add a little bit of bevel. Not that much, maybe like 0.01. Or I think in my example I used 0.02. Okay, that's good. We'll add like 5 segments. Okay, now look at that. Now it'll actually look like separate blocks. We can just save that. It'll look like separate blocks, and you can render this how it is. I'm not going to render it because I already have one, but you can import your separate SVG files, putting them on each block, and in the end, you will have something that turns out like my example. But once you have everything where you like it, you like your thing, you can tweak some settings, whatever you want to do, save it to wherever you want to, and then go up here and into your render and just hit that render button. That is really it for this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments and I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.